Yeah, just gonna do our artifact runs. I'm actually gonna check Columbina really quick. Just to see new Chronicles is available after 8 hours. Oh, interesting. So it actually just keeps refreshing, huh? Pretty cool, pretty cool. We're gonna do our artifact runs. And actually we are gonna see if we have to catch up on any like old hangouts. Because I believe at some point we had like a bunch of like hangout quests to do. Right, and I don't know if we actually finished all of those. So me is going to check story quest, check another tab. You have not reached certain endings, see? We still have 2 more of Lynette's hangout to do. So I think we'll go ahead and do that and finish that up today, hopefully. After our artifact run. So I think that's the plan. We'll finish up our Lynette hangout finally. It looks like there are like 2 more endings that we haven't completed yet, so but in the meantime, we are gonna do some artifact runs. Here we are. We just finished our D&D game. It was pretty fun. Pretty funs indeed. And we beat like a sea hag, and then I think the rest of it wasn't really a combat encounter, but a sea hag was a pretty big encounter for us. Nearly dodged. Hey, welcome in, Brushy. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good Saturday. Plan today is to finish up Lynette's hangout, finally. I realized that still has to be done. And that should pretty much take up like an hour, maybe? I don't know. Maybe half an hour? I don't know how long the remaining 2 endings are gonna be. In fact, I barely even remember what the hangout is about. It's been way too long. So anyway, better get in on that. And better finish that up before patch drops this week. And we have started seeing little hits of Nicole kits, pretty good. So we are holding out hope right here that her C6 will be really strong. Once the beta comes out though, I think that's when like people will know for sure. They'll probably do like a teaser as well for Nicole and Lowen or something like that. But it will be in a couple weeks. Pepper Thyself has gone into its the last 2 weeks. Although I will say they are pretty generous with this. With this one. But I think like you only need... What is it? You only need 8 weeks, right, to claim the Temper Thyself reward. But you are given like 12 weeks to complete it. So that's like... If you think about it from a percentage wise, you only have to log in like 75% of the time. Now you do have to log in at least 5 days a week for 8 of those I believe it's 5 days a week, right? I think you have to like 5 days a week to reach the trading goal, yeah. So you need like to have completed at least 5 days of 7 weeks. 5 days of 8 weeks out of 12. Which actually, if you think about it, it's quite a bit less than 75%. So they are actually pretty lenient on like getting those consolation rewards, which is nice. But it does mean that there's less cycles, I guess. Essentially, like, if you imagine, like, it takes 8 weeks to get the to claim it, but there's sort of an extra 4 weeks that you can go. They give a bit of a 4-week leeway, I guess, and the like a 4-week margin, I guess, for people to, if they don't play like every day, they can still claim that constellation. So if you think about it, because it only takes 8 weeks to claim a constellation, every 2 cycles, we could have actually gotten like another constellation if we didn't have the 8 weeks, for example, and if like the new temper, let's say if they didn't allow people to, not they didn't allow, but they didn't extend the duration of the event by 4 weeks. Those 4 weeks could have been used as the next 4 weeks, right, of a new temper thyself cycle. And essentially what would have happened is that we would have gotten basically 50% more constellations. So that means if every year we're expecting 4 constellations, right, 50% more would be like, we'd essentially be able to have, if they actually maintain their 8-week cycles every year-ish, kind of, instead of getting four constellations a year, we could have gotten 6 constellations a year, but MiHoYo decided, let's give us less constellations, but give a bit more room for even less active players to get it. Which I'm like, okay, it would be nice if they gave us like more rewards, but now it would be cool if, for example, the Tempered Thyself had like it was just an ongoing thing, and no matter, how do I put this, like no matter where you're at, like it doesn't like start and stop the same for everyone. It will just keep tracking every week whether you've done the 5 days of that week, and it will give you like progress. And every time you hit 8, you just get a free constellation. And like that isn't dependent on like the event duration, because the event will just say be like ongoing forever, just like basically an unlimited event, right? And maybe at some point they'll add more characters to it, but in any case, the idea is that if someone skips a week, it doesn't sort of like lock them out of that quarter or that season. It just means that they delay sort of getting their constellation by a week. And so it incentivizes people to actually keep playing the game regularly, and even for those that don't play regularly, they can still make progress, and their progress doesn't sort of reset, right? If they suddenly take a long break or something, they come back. They're still, if they were 3 weeks in, they're still 3 weeks in, and the difference is that people will be getting their constellations at different cycles, right? If people start missing, but for the most part, people who have been logging in the entire time can basically end up getting like more constellations, which actually would be pretty nice. Now, of course, I think the first thing they would have to fix is allowing people to get C0s with the Tempered Thyself. So that one is also definitely a bit quality of life that it can put. So, but right now, we can claim 4 free constellations, but we only have 2 free standard. We've only ever had 2 free of the standard anniversary selector so far. And by next year we'll get like what, 3rd one, right? But I don't know, at that point, that would actually be interesting though. Once I start doing standard banner pulls, like once I start doing standard banner pulls, it will be interesting to see which other standard banners I don't have. And then we'll have to pick it in the next year. But I think there's still quite a lot of room. I guess the best way to optimize it would be like you have to like pull first and see what 5 stars you get. But on one hand, oh actually no, I should just pick Lowen, right? Yeah, I think I should just pick Lowen. This is not even a consideration because Lowen is not gonna be on the banner when I start pulling. So no matter what, I'm not gonna be able to pull him. So I think my next choice is basically locked. I have to get Lowen. Unless he's like really bad. Which I'm hoping not. Unless he's like super bad. But I don't know, he seemed cool. I could see him being good. You know? It was funny when I was playing D&D just now. When we were in combat, I just decided to play some Genshin music in the background, Genshin battle music in the background to keep things exciting. It actually fit pretty well. Happy birthday, NFA. Very nice. Actually, wait a sec. Technically, NFA was never born, right? He was made. Happy Maid Day. Man puller? What do you mean by man puller? Actually, wait a sec. Oh wait, no. Wait a sec. If I was already supposed to be here, or if I was supposed to do the other route first. Hey brother, hey, welcome in, Remnant. How are you doing? I have no more inventory for golden raven insignia. I can only pick up the brown and the silver ones now. Actually maxing out here on the treasure hoarder mats. I wonder if I can sell these things for more or something. You're having a good Saturday, thanks for popping by. Plan for today is to do our artifact runs and then continue with the Lynette Hangout. It's been a while since I've touched the Hangouts and it's the last Hangout. It's also kind of sad that MiHoYo stopped creating new Hangouts for the 4 stars, but you know. Do with it what you will with the, I want to incorporate the character story in the Arc Conquest now. How Dev Instructor artifacts looking? No different from last time. It's only been like a day, so... Not much different from last time. Not much different. We'll be doing some weekly bosses with Loki later, so... we'll see if we get any good ones. Are you on Asia server? No, this is North America server. You can kind of tell by the UID on the bottom right. I believe Asia server is like starts at, is it 8? I think EU is 7, right? And then Asia server might be 8. I'm not entirely sure though. Oh, may I set a friend request? Yeah, for sure. If you have C6 characters, even better. No, I would definitely like no problems with adding folks with Guj characters, if you know what I mean. Winky face. Winky face. Always nice to have a swap of friends that I can like rely on for imaginary. Also, I think if your friends like clear, like Stygian, you also get buffs or something, right? So those are all pretty good. Yeah, but feel free to add me if you like. And sometimes we'll do like co-op and like for Dire. Do the buffs only apply in the Dire stage, or does it technically apply throughout all the stages? Even if it's completing, I know you have to complete on Dire to get the buff. I know your friend has to complete in Dire for you to get a buff, but like, does the buff apply across all stages once you get it? Not sure, to be honest. Cause yeah, it could even help even if I'm not doing Dire, right? Like even if I'm doing like Menacing or Fearless, it could still help, which is nice. We'll see though. The top characters who clear Dire get buffs for lower floors. Nice. It's nice. Yeah, that would be great. Actually, we got that. I don't think it's friends though, I think it's server. Oh, it's the entire server? Huh, interesting. So you don't actually have to be friends, you just get the buffs. But I guess you need to have the character to get the buff, right? It only buffs that specific character. Which is kind of like, oh well, I guess I need the characters in order to benefit from the buff. Because ain't nobody clearing Stygian with my characters. I guess maybe I get a bit of a buff on people who abuse Gene ball tech from time to time, but about it. Ain't nobody clearing Stygian with my characters. Come on. Maybe I'll get some like buffs from the support lineup then. Today I was actually doing trying to claim my like dailies, and like I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough resin stocked up, but I actually managed to find like an entire area that I had missed in Fontaine where there were a bunch of treasure chests. So it's nice that I'm able to still find treasure chests I've missed around the world. I would bet I still have treasure chests in Sumeru and Fontaine that I haven't opened for sure. And probably Natlan as well. Although for Natlan I did spend quite a bit of effort going through the map and all that. Damn, my phone's dying. No, not like this. My phone is also like really old. I have like a Galaxy S8. And I know like they're already way past the S20 something series at this point. I have a really old Galaxy S8 from back in, what was it? 2015? 16? It's been a long time. I have Twitch in my phone and Genshin on my iPad. Yeah, and Genshin takes up a lot of space these days. But they're both dying, only have one charger. Ooh. Yeah, I guess you could just get a new charger, a second charger, which might help things. I don't know if you can just buy a charger, but my guess is yes. And I think all Apple devices use the same charger, right? If I'm not mistaken. I got my Note 8 in 2018, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it's definitely been a while. I mean, my Galaxy S8 is still working. It's just like, you know, it doesn't have any of the latest updates anymore. Android literally doesn't even support the phone anymore, you know. But it's still working. It's working fine. The battery life is a little sus, but I was able to get like a you know, sometimes over time the phone, like the USB connection becomes pretty loose and pretty bad, and like it doesn't like detect its charge anymore. So like I can't even charge my phone with a cable anymore. I have to charge it with like the what do you call it, the wireless charging pads. So I had to get one just to charge my old phone. I got my Note 8 in 2018, if I recall correctly. Just buy a new one. I do actually have a newer phone. That's what I'm running Genshin on. But the old phone is still working, so I'm still gonna keep using it. If it's still working, you know, if it ain't broke, just keep using. Want to party up for domains? Yeah, sure. Let me think though. I'm not. We can, if you're down for some weekly bosses, that's what I'm doing. That's what I would be doing today for weekly boss domains. Wouldn't be farming artifacts today, but yeah, let's do it. Sounds good. I should check whether you sent a friend request to Rem. Sounds right. And farming a husk for my Arubedo. Ooh, okay. Husk is the one in Inazuma, right? It's been a while. It's a long time ago since I've heard Husk brought up as an artifact. I think that's an Inazuma one. Or I guess it's the one that Ito is supposed to use, if I'm not mistaken. Why do you need two phones? Why not? It's not that I need two phones, but if I have two phones, feels good to have two phones. One is for the ladies, let's go. And one is for the bros. Also, pretty good idea, I guess. I mean, for a while, I also had two laptops, but then one of my laptops died, so I only have one laptop, unfortunately. I might have to get another laptop soon, because I don't want to be in a position where if this laptop suddenly eventually dies or something, then I don't have like a backup to do stuff on. So I might get a laptop just as an insurance, I guess. So that I have two laptops running. Alright, why don't we do... We can do... Let's see... Chess match first. Unresolved chess match. I'm probably gonna run like some cryo stuff. The Gaia. Oh, and Xingqiu, of course. Whoa, what the heck? Why is there a kick button? I did not know a kick button existed. Strange. Ooh, I see a Sitlali. I could use Hydro if you have a lot of... you want to use double cryo? I can use double Hydro. I mean, normally someone would explain how they use phones, but alright. We're just curious to try to make conversation. I mean, I use both just normally. I mean, there's nothing special about how I'm using the... I mean, one of them I play Genshin on, and one of them I can't play Genshin on, but... Otherwise, it's about the same. So 2 SIM cards? Yeah, I got 2 SIM cards. I think I won it with T-Mobile and the other with AT&T. Like, always a trick to this guy, you just gotta stay, like, on the path here. The Lali shield is very comfy. I don't want to play 2 builds personally. Ah, I see what you mean. The map changes out when you're not paying the bills on one of them, so that's probably why I have 2. It doesn't cost me anything to stand up one of my opponents. It's basically free for me. Oh, he's reviving. I thought he was just gonna ignore him, but he just went ahead and revived him anyway. Hey, there we go. Great job, man. Alright, did we get any good instructors? Nope, 3 stars, see? Look at my instructor's luck, not very good. None, no good instructors. Sad. Next one will be Fire Dragon boss guy. Oh, die, lol, let me charge it. Oh no. Not like this. Yeah, Genshin is pretty tough on the phone too. What? Let me use my other phone. Let me use a transient. I actually have quite a lot of transients. I have a second one too. Oh, but I should probably save 2 for the I'm guessing there will be a Stygian Luna VI events calendar. Let me see when the Stygian drops. No, Stygian actually drops like a week after, so yeah, there's no need to save it. Baby Girls album events, surveying and mapping studies events. Where the waves meet the reef. Okay, so the flagship event's actually much later this time. Okay. So for this one, we'll do. Maybe I should heal actually. Let me get Jean. Just so that we have some healing. Oh, actually, Benny Boy probably works better. Oh, actually, if you're using Mob, maybe. This is fine. Benny Boy is technically from Outland, right? Can you generate Night Soul, Benny? Come on, Benny. Give me Night Soul. Okay, he died it. Never mind. Easy. Easy. Thanks for the carry ram. Wait, is that a C6 mob or something? That was pretty strong. That was a pretty strong mob. Let's check our instructors. Yep, no 4-star instructors. So we are, again, just because instructors can drop doesn't mean it's high rarity drop. Because it has to drop at the 4-star level too, which is the thing. A lot of them drop at the 3-star level. Alright, last one is our friend. So let me just quickly check the other ones. Okay, I'm back. Nice. The Spiral, not Spiral. Let me see which ones I haven't done. Okay, I've done all of them, so that's just left the False Moon. That's also like so high up. I like how this domain is like right at the edge as well of the map. Yeah. Alright, for this guy, honestly, I don't have much that can help, unfortunately. We'll probably run Sucrose and you can run Aino if you want to there. If you want Lunar Crystal, I can run Aino and maybe Xingqiu, would that help? Okay, actually, yeah, if you have Columbina, Ningguang, let's go. Although we don't have a healer. Yeah, I guess that works. Furinza-san. Then we'll run Aurora. Oh, actually, we still need healing. Alright, Dory will come. Dory can heal, don't worry. How have you not finished Lynette Hangout yet? That's a good question. I do not know the answer to this question. I was like, didn't we do Lynette a while ago? And then I just forgot that we haven't finished it. Must have been like a whole month, like 2 months ago. It's alright, guys. Dory can heal. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand either how I haven't finished yet. The wow. I thought you started it ages ago. Yes, I did. But apparently I haven't finished it yet. Well, then again, don't look at me. Lucky hasn't done any of it. Hasn't even started any of it. Alright. I'm doing okay. Wow. Lucky catching strays over here. Oh no. Why am I frozen? Okay, I need to heal. Oh man, actually probably need a bit more energy here to do stuff. Right. He's a different breed. Ooh. Meow. You know, after Columbina, like Flint actually feels pretty dang good to play. They actually did their husbando lovers eating good with Flints, to be honest. It's pretty good. All things considered. Heal, I got healing. We heal in here. Oh, why does he gotta do this all the time? Oh no, is he still outside? Okay. I think if we destroy these, they deal true damage and then he should just die. He should just be died then. Wait, did Flints die? Oh no. Sorry. Oh, there he is. We'll heal him, Take the healing. I also realized Dory isn't healing much, because I think she might be on the EM set. The Dory's VA going pretty good. Try playing Flint's pre-Columbina, no enough. Well, yeah, exactly, right? It's kind of like they have like the team, you know, a couple of patches in the future. ER crit rate's not bad. We'll keep that. It's a feather though. It's not the crit rate circlet that I need. Sounds terrible. I got enough of before knock, right? Yeah, but you can clearly see like they had Flint is good, but only in like a specific team that they, you know, didn't actually get fully released until after a while. Like was it like 2 patches after he got released that Columbina finally came? Don't remember how many patches it took, but it took a while. So we're going to get there. I had this. I love the character. Yeah, Ineva was a really nice character. I think a lot of people who pull her definitely like her. I had this T1-2 and he was trash. In a way. I actually played Flynn's Bina and Efa on my own. No Bina, no Binefa. So what do you play Flynn's with then without Binefa? Run Aino, Sing Tune, Fischl. Honestly not bad. Fischl's really good. Aino does give him, you know, the lunar ascendant buff. And the Fischl is just good no matter what. Oh wait, I'm gonna die if I... Oh man, I need to... Alright Rem, I'm gonna need your help to defeat these guys while I stand up here and hopefully avoid all of their attacks. So I need to use my artifacts here. Maybe we upgrade Silken Moon this time. So I think I fully leveled up the ones I want to level up this. I have an EM one, but I'm only keeping it just in case. Am I getting hit by something? Oh. Okay, let's do this one. I have a lot of these that I haven't leveled up yet. Let me see. HP, hydro damage, defense percent. ER, I can see this being useful. Yeah, what do we do in ER? This one's definitely useful no matter what. A lot of characters are gonna need ER. Nobody's gonna use defense, so. Columbina was up, then I tried I know super official, but without a shield it's hard. So I use I know Cookie and Sucrose. For more damage replace Cookie. But no sustain is hell, yeah, no sustain is pretty harsh. It's definitely pretty harsh. Oh nice, thanks for clearing out the enemies. Banner music has disappeared. I think she was actually decent sustain for Flynn's. I mean, Singchu does have a little bit of it. But definitely, like, not enough if you're taking, like, a bunch of damage. But if you're, like, super skilled and only take a little bit of damage, then pretty sure it could work out. But if you're like me and takes damage all the time, probably doesn't work out that well. It's actually not bad. I'm getting attack percent and not the double defense on this effect. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Vince has a lot of animations where he doesn't take damage. Ah, let's see. Like the special burst definitely doesn't take damage. Does he have iframes on E as well? So it doesn't need a ton, but not... Yeah, not perfect. Yeah, but Sucrose is huge. Sucrose will be pretty huge. At least in terms of the EM buffs. Because it gives like team-wide EM buffs, and team-wide EM buffs are like super good for lunar reactions. Because they basically scale off like your entire team's EM. So just a flat increase to everyone's EM, like, just boosts that a ton. Don't get me started on Sucrose. I actually managed to somehow use all the 1-star artifacts. Oh. We are gonna go here. He's one of my least favorite characters to play, really? Sucrose is one of my favorite ones to play, actually. But that's also only on my account, I guess. He does have a bit of ER issues, though, I will say. But I'm like building her EM because she needs a swirl, but she does have a bit of ER issues. Especially because at C0 she doesn't have the double E. The double E is like pretty important for the energy regeneration. She's fine unless you're driving as her. Yeah, I guess I don't really drive with her that much. I do it a little bit for Electro Charge, but I can always drive with like Barbara and the Electro Charge team. I know terrible to use is my preference, yeah. She definitely doesn't have like, because she's like callous, like she gets staggered easily and stuff. She also doesn't like technically she doesn't heal. So I do think like running Barbara on my Electro Charge team does make it a bit more comfy. She doesn't have to worry too much. She can heal while she creates the Electro Charge reactions. Yeah, exactly. You wait more time dodging or getting staggered than doing anything. Yeah, that's true. The stagger is pretty important for like the catalyst characters because they get staggered more easily. Unless they have like some kind of built-in like anti-stagger, right? It's pretty hard. I'm gonna have to run away from these bubbles. Run away from bubbles. She's supposed to have a low field time, but she just gets knocked around. I can't be myself. Well, I guess if you use her with like Sig Chill, she kinda does need to be somewhat on field. For the swords, right? But yeah, I mean with Flynn's teams. Oh yeah, I guess in Flynn's team she doesn't need to be. She just has to swirl some stuff a little bit and be done. But here, take your instructor's buff, Flynn's. Or just in most teams you use her where she isn't a driver, yeah. I'm still kind of sad they haven't released like a true instructor's 5-star artifact set. They did release like Silken Moon Serenade, but it's like instructors only for lunar teams. Which I guess is probably fine for most people because nobody's gonna do like EM based teams outside of lunar anymore, I would say. I think all of the EM based teams are basically power creep by their lunar versions. So it only makes sense to run like the lunar based teams. Or just in most teams you use her where she isn't the driver. She runs VV, not instructors. Yeah, see this is the confusing thing. You're thinking I'm talking about Sucrose, but I'm not. But you're thinking that I'm talking about Sucrose because you were talking about Sucrose. But I'm not necessarily addressing what you were talking about. See, this is why chat is hard. Anyway. Who I'm not talking about? I'm not talking about anyone in general. I'm just talking about in general. I'm not talking about anyone specifically. Yeah, she barely has any field time on Flynn's single skill. But you see, I'm getting better at identifying what your context is and what my context is, which I think is a good thing. She barely has any field time on Flynn's single skill. That's it. Yeah, pretty much I think, or 2 skills of sac. Actually, how does Sacrificial work with Sucrose's? Like, doesn't she have a constellation where she like, she can store like a E charge or something? She has 2 charges, right, on her E at a certain constellation level. I don't exactly know how Sacrificial like works with that, but my guess is that it just gives her a charge, instantly or something. With Sac C1 she can get 3 skill usages. I think Sac procs first. But does that mean that like... Because Sac can only proc like once every like X seconds if I'm not wrong. So you can get up to 3 I guess? Yes, you're right. Then you have 2 skills. Ah, I see. So it's like you can proc Sacs first. Or if you don't proc Sacrificial, like if you don't have like an R5 Sacrificial, it doesn't proc the first time. You could proc the second time. Depends on the refinement. Yeah, I'm mostly saying like in general, like I wanted like a 5-star instructor set mostly because I didn't want to run 4-star artifact sets by principle. But to some degree they did give you like the 120 EM buff on Silken Moon Serenade. It just only matters for lunar teams, like Flynn's teams, right? But what happens is instructors fully stacks, right, with Silken Moon Serenade. So if you run both Silken and instructors, it's even better, right? You get 120 plus 120. That's 240. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure instructor completely stacks with Silken Moons. So they should have just made Silken Moon like not that restrictive. I swear without, but if R5 is 16 seconds per proc, I think 16 seconds is around Sucrose's E cooldown, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to run from these guys. I'm not gonna be able to beat this with just Jean and Aino. But I swear without Sacrificial and even C6 Sucrose, I couldn't do 2 skills. One before Inefa and one before Flynn's. Sucrose. Huh. But you couldn't even do 2 skills. Assuming that you have the you have Sucrose's constellation, or then you should always be able to do 2 skills, right? Or is it the timing of the rotation is kind of weird? Is what you mean? Sack makes it way more comfy. Okay, yeah, I only run Instructor on Silodan because it's in most teams. Oh, yeah, I shouldn't be fighting these guys, I should be running. I don't bother running Instructor to anyone who needs their burst. Instructors, you just have to like... For instructors, you just have to like run like you have to use... You have to cause a reaction, I believe. You just have to cause a reaction, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, just get in and out. I thought Sucrose usually normal attacks after Flynn's. Just to refresh EV. Ah, I see. So you can get all the buffs. Yeah, that's the nice thing about Sucrose as a catalyst user. What is her skill even used for? That is a good question. Mostly to generate energy, I think, for her. At least on my teams, that's what I use her E force. So I can collect Nemo particles. She can charge off her burst. For Sucrose. That's true, I could just NA it before Flints. Yeah. Mainly I will use the E mostly just to recover energy. But if I just want to apply VV, I would just like well, there is one thing though, like the Catalyst NA auto targeting is kinda sus. In the sense that like you always will end up targeting the unit closest to you. And if there are like multiple units, you might not actually refresh VV on all of them, right? So you depending on how close they are and stuff. So you might have to use E to refresh it on all of the enemies. So that's definitely like one consideration. But if you're fighting like Stygian where it's just typically a single target, then yeah, just a single. It's fine. Her A4 passive price procs in her burst or skill. The A4 passive is the EM buff, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Without a skill or burst, she's not giving her full EM buff, yeah. But doesn't it last quite long? If I'm not mistaken? Pretty sure it lasts quite long, right? I don't know if it has 100% uptime though. Let's see, how much is their uptime? Well, it's not that long actually, it's only 88 seconds. And then her skill cooldown is actually like 15. So it's only 50% uptime on a skill. And then her burst is like 20 seconds. So even if you like alternate her skill and burst like perfectly, I think there's still some downtime. Both her passives are EM. Okay, wouldn't you want to do a skill before Inepa and skill before Flynn's unless you have enough ER for burst every rotation? I don't think EM snapshots, right, Lunar? Right, I don't think Lunar EM will snapshot, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Lunar is active, like it constantly changes. Yeah, you can. Yeah, but yeah, if you can do it on both, then that's even better. Right. But if you have like 2 chargers on Sucrose E, then I think you should be able to keep up 100% uptime, regardless of whether you do it before or after. It's just micro optimizing. Yeah, like you micro optimize the first few hits. But I think for me, like, as long as you're like consistently having it up, if you can manage the 100% uptime, I think that's good enough. It's in between the rotation, just keep going, you know. That would probably be good enough. Because there is like a very tiny bit of like extra damage you can eke out. Especially if you're running like Stygian or something, it would probably matter. I use instructors Shilonen for my Flynn's team. Yeah, exactly. So Shilonen gives you instructors, and Inepa can run Silken, right? And then Flynn's will run the DPS set. It does matter in Stygian a lot. Yeah, because Stygian is such because you're clearly Stygian Dire, of course it matters a lot. I mean that Stygian Dire, like anything matters a lot, like really like everything literally matters, like especially if you're trying to push, right? Unless you're like a big whale. If you're like C6 everything, okay, then maybe things don't matter too much. But like anything Stygian Dire is considered like way out in the end game, so. I run Columbina on Silken. Not Obeyed. Okay. Does someone still have to like run Obeyed then? Columbina on Silken, my Silken is C2 though, so it makes up for the buff Sucrose gives. Ah, I see, I see. I see the Columbina, I haven't decided if I use Columbina on Obeyed or Silken. Yeah, I don't know the difference. I know people were like talking about both, but I'm not sure like which one is technically better. I think without C2, Sucrose is much better. Is Shilonen C2 also giving EM? Is that a thing? It's like additional buffs from like her samplers. I think it depends on the ER. Silken makes it easier to transfer Columbina around in outcry teams. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's easier to like not have to deal with it. But that's another quality of life issue that MiHoYo has yet to address, right? If we had artifact loadouts, then the Obeyed and Silken switch wouldn't be that difficult to do. But nope, MiHoYo hasn't given us artifact loadouts. Come on Hoyo, give us artifact loadouts. You know you want to. Silken helps with ER. Oh yes, yes, Silken does have the ER in addition to the 120 EM buff. Which actually honestly is pretty useful, right, for a lot of the supports. Like we have established. Albeit it's much more damage, assuming Bina can get her first. Ah, I see, I see. Does Columbina generate a lot of particles? I don't feel like I get that sense. Does she generate a lot of energy particles? You might generate it over time rather than like all at once. But we see two true, but my Augie has good ER too. Yeah, I guess the subsets can make up for it. But you see too, she's cracked, so I'm sure she doesn't need more than she doesn't more than enough. She doesn't more than enough. But with C2 she's cracked, so I'm sure she does it something more than enough on Silken. She does more than enough on Silken. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do believe Natlan was the patch where they definitely had a lot of well, not just Natlan, I think Fontaine was like that too, but D1 C2 big jump in power spike. Oh yeah, if he does as much as enough, if not more even in Silken set. So yeah, it doesn't matter really. You beat Dyer, yeah. Yeah, you guys can compare yourself on the leaderboard now. Wait, I can actually pull up the leaderboard, lol. See which one of you guys want to make a bet which one of you did it faster, lol. So yeah, why optimize more, lol? To be on the leaderboard, that's what it's for. Right, look guys. Alright, the whole point of this is to show off your leaderboard times. Wouldn't, but that's up to you, haha. Because the next Zio will always be harder. I don't care about leaderboard. Alright, that's time to expose. Let's see who is the top record. As you can see, I have no records. I didn't even bother doing any of this. No records for 6. By the way, you only actually get a record if you clear all 3 of them sometime in the cycle, and for all of these cycles, I've only ever cleared 1 of the stages, even on hard mode, because that's all you really need to farm the artifacts. And any of the co-op ones, I think, don't show up. It has to be solo to show up, so that's why. So I do have co-op records. Hey, Brushy, you're at the top. Congrats. You have beat Rem by 4 seconds. You can now boast and say that you did good. 4 seconds. You guys are actually way better than like my next guy down the list. These guys didn't even bother going into Dire VI to just like they were just like, hey, we just took the fearless and we glitch. Great job, guys. This is my co-op challenge record. I don't know who this guy is, but I managed to get carried and get my primos. That's what happened. No way. Me personally, I cross average when it comes to it. C2 beta only 4 seconds. I have a friend with C2 who has like 276 seconds. I have C0 beta. Lamaus. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. What does C2 beta actually do though? I mean, check the characters. I don't care about time, I just want to clear. True, yes, the clear is important, guys. The time is just for memes. I have weird teeth. Wait, which are the constellations where Columbina actually has the power spike? Is it 2 and 6? Like for most, I feel like for most folks it's like 2 and 6.
Yeah.
What's your duck team? Your duck team. Duck team. All of her cons are good. Yeah, but which ones are the spikes? They can be good, but like spikes meaning like the bump up is much higher than other cons, even if they're all good. It's the power spikes I think are the important ones. I need to go to challenge records. No, sorry, that's my challenge records. Battle records. Brushy's ones are Knuckle Duckle. Oh, sorry. I can actually see. I can't go into your. Oh, I think I can. Character details. C1, C6 Cookie, C6 Sucrose. I think this is the duck one. Okay, I see. Yeah, no Nefa. The curse of no Nefa. Omg. Her C1 helps with ER, and her C2 is the big one, which gives her lots of damage. Ah, okay, okay. The ER, I guess. Yeah, that one would be very important. I use the Nefa on top floor. Yeah, can't have two Nefas. Did you mean needed an Nefa to carry? So yeah, if you had Nefa, your time would be way better. Super cool teams though, for real. Yeah, this was the team that Brushy was saying like he had some like really weird teams. Even an Ayaka thrown in there for Battlefield 3. Blue Songe, Ayaka, oh my gosh. Blue Songe, oh my gosh. Look at this. XDD. XDD indeed. Ayaka is there for fun. Truly there for fun. Sacrificial Yelan. Wow. Truly sacrificial. Definitely a very sacrificial Yelan going on here. You know the funny thing is the funniest thing to me is that like 3 out of 4 of the weapons on this team are like 4-star weapons. Just goes to show how broken these weapons are. Also, everybody's still using TTDS. Alright guys, yes, hear me out. I'm gonna get TTDS. Wait, TTDS level 60. Didn't even bother. Didn't even bother. Because hey, who needs it leveled up? Nobody needs it leveled up anyway. Just R5. Wait, hold up. This could have been level 1. You could have done it even better, Brushy. Just run level 1 TTDS. There's no requirement to level up. Just level 1 R5 TTDS. I needed HP for Mona. Wait, this is Mona? I thought this is Sucrose. Oh well. I guess you might be using it for Mona too. Mine's also level 60 Lomao. Guys, it's really cheap to level up a 3-star weapon. It's a lot cheaper, I think, than the other weapons. Like even the 4-star weapon. It's not bad at all. But yeah, but why bother? It's exactly what Brushy would say. Yeah, but why bother? Exactly what Brushy would say. I guess for me, it's like there's a sense of like when it isn't fully leveled up, it just feels bad to me. You know what I mean? Like it just feels bad. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Except for level 89, though. I will accept if this thing gets leveled up to level 79, just for the memes. I needed it. She uses it to no just sacrificial kind of Harakazu. Guys, look. When I start pulling standard battle, I'm gonna get all these super powerful 4-stars, and I'll 4-star weapons, right? That I'm basically gonna be able to clear yeah, Dire easy. I just gotta pull some Favonius swords, some sacrificial swords, sacrificial bows, you know, some TTDS. What is this? Is this a wish? I don't even know what this is. Genie's Whisper. What is it? I can kind of get an ER. Seems like a weird ER weapon. I don't think this is on the standard banner though, so I probably can't get this. Set Kazuha as leader for that boss specifically to gather the spores cleanly. Ah, I see, I see. So you can do the double E. I guess the mistake was not having a venti, I guess. The mistake was truly not having a venti. Well, Sucrose can do it too. I probably would have used Sucrose. I do believe like Sucrose burst does gather it all at once, if I'm not mistaken. As long as you use it at the right time, I think Sucrose burst gathers all of the mushrooms into one spot. Sucrose can do it, but it's not very long. Yeah, I guess it's not very long. But if you have Sucrose and Kazuha, right? Sucrose can gather it, and then Kazuha can kill them while they're in the they're right after, right? So, but yeah, you still need like a big GPS guy come in and clean them up. I don't think most people cleared it with swirl damage though. I think it was more like grouping up and then allowing like a different damage type to come in, hit them all at once. Probably makes the most sense. On my ult, I had to run Sucrose. Yeah, see, Sucrose Gooch actually groups things up. I think the other character that I used for that one in my runs was like Anemo Traveler. So Sucrose, I use Sucrose to group him up, and then Anemo Traveler like continues the damage. And like Anemo Traveler Tornado is actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's really hard to aim, and the AoE doesn't group very well, but once things get stuck in it, they do get stuck in it and do take quite a bit of damage. It's pretty good. But the other thing that I was also noticing is that, especially when I was running Lihan's IT and like looking at his characters, I was like, bro, it's got to be like so hard to like switch around artifacts and like weapons across your characters, because like it's unlikely that all of your characters are gonna be, you know, using their own dedicated builds and like nobody else is using those weapons, right? And so like the amount of time you take to like switch out those artifacts and is really not trivial like that. So I can, like, for me it's like I only have so few characters and I'm already complaining about artifact loadout, right? Like, you guys have it so much worse. There's so much more characters you guys have to manage and try to remember which artifact goes where, you know? It is a pain, yeah. The arena is small, I can see the tornado being good. Yeah, you just have to sort of like focus them into like one area and then it's pretty good. Like, characters share everything? Yeah, exactly. It's so hard to swap it around. Also, yeah, I use Sacrificial Kazuha too. I don't know how people have different builds for everyone. They're just like farming artifacts like 24/7, I guess. XX Ghost YY. Wow, you hate my friend. Welcome in, first time chat. X Ghost Ghosty. And as you lol, I don't have the patience. I do think people literally have dedicated builds. Might not be the most optimized builds, right? To be fair, right? But they might just run like the most generic build rather than like just so that they have to get out of swapping artifacts for people. And I can totally see that. Like, I don't like, the one thing that a lot of RPGs get wrong is menus. And this is exactly the problem. Menus. People want to play the game, not play menus. You know? The menus are supposed to make it easy for you to like customize, but it can't be so like so what's the word? So troublesome to sort of navigate that you just take forever. You're just playing menus, just like going through menus in this game. Also, my characters are dedicated builds. My map has scrolls and codex, and then my Escopia has tenacity and golden true. Wait. Oh, like 2-piece tenacity and 2-piece golden troop. Okay, makes sense. Wait. Okay, because 2-piece tenacity does give HP. That makes sense. And golden troop gives elemental skill buff. For some shared weapons, Shenyun has VV Noblesse. VV Noblesse, pretty good. Wait, VV Noblesse? So 2-piece VV and 2-piece Noblesse? So you're getting neither of Noblesse? You're getting neither the 4-piece Noblesse or the 4-piece VV? Interesting. I would have thought you would have picked one of those, but I have a few friends. Maybe you're playing Shen in an interesting way that I do not know. I have a few friends who have dedicated builds for their characters. Shen has 2-piece, and Noblesse. And so on, lol. Yeah, it's troublesome to struggle. Luckily, the endgame stuff doesn't reset. That's not a big deal. Yeah, I guess because like the refresh is like less often now. Like you only have to do it like once every refresh. So overall, you can do anything really. No, no. But Ascopy has a set for tenacity and a set for golden troop. Oh, okay. So you have two sets, but then there's no artifact loadouts, right? So you still have to swap in and out every time, or are you like basically doing what other people do, where they store, where they use characters as loadout bots, basically. This is a character I don't use. I'm gonna store Escoffier's artifacts here, so it's easier to find. I do that for story mode. I remember all my pieces by heart. Ain't no way. I know they give you like the star thing now, but like honestly, okay, here's the thing. You know how like the artifacts now they added like the star system, right? Where you can like star an artifact here. If instead of a star, you could like you could tag it with a character's icon, right? So like for example, like you could choose a character to associate this artifact with. Like this is a character that might use this artifact. That would be a lot easier. Then you could like filter on, let's say, and then like what each of the artifacts can have multiple characters assigned to it. So like you could assign as many maybe like 5 characters can be assigned to it. And then it's basically like a tag, right? And then you can filter on Escoffier, and then it'll show up all of the artifacts. Even that's not even a full loadout, right? But even that could be like so much better. See, I actually prefer stealth builds for Overworld because it makes the fights a little longer. Brushy would agree with that. I do that for story mode. Ah, okay. I just wing it. Just give loadouts, bro. Exactly. Just give loadouts, bro. No Hoyo games have loadouts? Yeah, they gotta learn from Monster Hunter. They really gotta learn from Monster Hunter, I would say. I think Monster Hunter loadout system is like the best. Well, I don't want to say it's the best. It's better than Genshin's, but it's the best I've seen in the game. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, like the Rebirth Remake Trilogy project, also has a pretty big issue with menus, because in that game you switch in and out a lot of materia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Final Fantasy games, but there's a lot of materia rejiggling that you have to do, and that's also like what causes people to be get sick of the menus and just do whatever in the fights. We're doing waves of loadouts, nice. That means they're doing things right. I think Honkai Impact 3 has it, but it's not even needed. Everybody just uses this exact same thing without ever needing a switch. I guess that's the other way. If you don't want to like implement loadouts, then just like implement some oh, actually, why is it like this? Oh, because I'm still in like multiplayer mode for some reason. It's one day I'm gonna pull for Silali, trust. One day. I'll just get her at C0 because I don't really see the point of pulling her C6. But I like Granny enough to get her. Granny Silali. Copium? Hear me out, guys. Silali for my Gaming Melt team. Pretty good idea, right? Really good idea, right? Who cares about Mavica? I need Silali for my Gaming DPS team. That's my main DPS for my ult. Yeah, exactly. Also, I don't know if you guys have tried this. I don't know if you guys play like Gaming DPS, but have you guys noticed like Gaming's burst? There's sometimes like his burst can basically go crazy and like almost have like unlimited amount of elemental skill. Like it goes on cooldown like the moment you use it, and then you can just keep doing it over and over again. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I have noticed sometimes in combat, like the timing of like when Manchai sort of like flies around and you collect him. Sometimes it's like perfectly timed in such a way that the moment you use your E, you've already also collected Manchai on the way up or down, and then you instantly refresh it. But because the game still thinks that you haven't refreshed it, it still spawns another Manchai, and then the cycle just repeats, and you're using basically its E like pretty much like non-stop, like up and down, up and down. I don't know if you guys have noticed that kind of behavior before. Gaming, how many accounts do you have? Gaming, Selavi, Shilon, and Benny, or Yansan? Yeah, that seems like a good team. Manchai is the lion. Yes, Manchai. Yes, well, that's his name. Cute 8. Yeah, Manchai is the name of his little. Is it a lion? I guess it's a lion, like a little cute, right? Yeah. Manchai. I think in the Japanese he's called Wenzai. Wenzai. Manchai. Manchai. You know, it would be really cool. I don't know if the Chinese VA does this, but it would be so cool if Gavin like literally spoke Cantonese. Like, yeah, imagine like the Chinese VA, like everybody speaks like normal Mandarin, and then suddenly Gavin comes in and just explodes with like Cantonese. That would be pretty funny. No Jiaming, actually Gaming. Why would he speak Cantonese? Gaming is a Cantonese character technically, yeah. Like all of his like Manchai is like a Cantonese word. It's not really like a Chinese word. It's not really a Mandarin word. All of his and like traditionally like the specific sort of like I think the lion dance also like originated from the part of China that speaks Cantonese. Um which is typically like the southern part, the one near the port area. And then his you can kind of tell a little bit too, like the Japanese, like he does have a bit. Wenzai. Wenzai. Alright, let's not dilly-dally any longer. We need to finish this story quest, otherwise I'll never finish. Manchai with a space. Yeah, exactly. Manchai. And I do believe like chai as well. Like the word chai is not. I don't actually think that's a Mandarin word. Yeah, it's not. I don't think there's a word chai in Mandarin. Chai, I think already sort of has a dialect built in. Man, there are Chinese words called man, but at least not in the way he's pronouncing it. Not in that tone. All right. How do I get to this Lynette Hangout quest again? I feel like there used to be a nice spot where I can see. Now the quest overview is like somewhere else. View event quest. What is this? Oh, okay, so we can replay event quest. Very good. Let's do the Lynette. Let's finish the Lynette one. Where did I? Okay, so we did all of these ones. Oh, we haven't finished this one actually. That's all, folks. Oh wait, this was the. Oh wait, this is the scene one. They were. Yeah, I remember this one. This was nice actually. I really like this. I really like this story, this quest. She was acting, and then there was some like drama, and they were gonna like swap her out for a different character or something. I remember this one. I like this one. I think we ended basically like on the what do you call it, the happy end, or like the true ending, I think. So I think that's when we last left off, and so we're just gonna follow up with the other like maybe worser endings. But I think we did get like the true ending, or what I would consider as the like most ideal ending, where everyone is like mostly squared away and everything's resolved. And we got a nice little story beat on like Lynette's character arc. And I'm having the worst luck with these husk artifacts. The times when you want a defense percent double crit and they don't give you. Whereas like for every other set I get defense double crit all the time, right? All the time. Even as I was going through the Silken Moon artifacts, you guys probably saw like I had a bunch of defense percent double crits there.
ありがとう、リネットさんに旅人さん。君たちがいなければ、あとどれだけ。
Skip to the choice. I want to say performance. What's she talking about? Wait and see how things play out.
あの手紙は私がやったんです。
なんだって？
なんだって？
ジーナ、本当なの？
本当なの？
監督、みんなで。ちょっと妙な雰囲気だな。
妙な雰囲気だな。Right, like Dahlia's close to friendship 10. I can't wait to never use him again. Poor Dahlia, man. You know what? They are probably going to give me a free Dahlia in the next time they decide to give us a free character. Because he's so useless. 100% sure they're going to give us a free Dahlia at some point in an event. I just gotta pick all like the worst 4 stars to give me. Dahlia's somewhere at the bottom of that list. They always do this. Let's look through these characters that nobody's ever using in any of our endgames. Yes, let's give them for free. Maybe he gets a Hexerite buff? If he does, I would expect Barbara to get a buff too. He's a Skirk or Ayato teammate, I think. Oh yeah, I guess that could work. Some people claim Dahlia is best in slot for Skirk's last slot. I don't actually know what he does. He's supposed to have some like... I think of his skill as like a bouncy... He has a bouncy skill. He has a trampoline skill. I don't know what he does, man. Hell no, Mona's way better. Let's hope I get a Mona, guys.
まずい時に来ちゃったかも。
リネットさん、ジーナはきっと私のことを心配してこんなバカなことをしでかしたの。ごめんなさい。私が何とかしてこの埋め合わせを。お姉ちゃん、これは全部私のせい。私がリネットさんを誤解してたから責任は私が負うべき。別に被害を受けてないし、追及するのも面倒だし、もうやめにしない？
やめにしない? Mona is another one I hit. I was using it as a clock. Oh yeah, like her like special dash. Yeah.
それでいいの?
I definitely thought a bit about that when I was using her in IT.
どうせあの時私を誤解していたのはジーナだけじゃなかったし。
でしょ?
ああ、確かに。
確かに、確かに. I hit a gameplay too, but Omen debuff from birds is way more valuable. The Omen debuff is pretty good.
そもそも誤解が原因で生まれたことだから、もっと面倒なことにしちゃいけない。でも、あんな手紙を書くのは間違ってる。 過ちを犯したのなら罰を受けるべきだわ。
受け取るべきだな。
じゃあ裏方の手伝いに来ない？裏方？
裏方？
劇場の楽屋は人手が足りないの。それに今後過ちを犯さないようお姉さんもいつでもあなたを見張っていられる。ありがとうリネットさん。ありがとう。
She's a catalyst user too, also TTDS can be used. TTDS strikes again! One of us trying to realize you made your way to the opera house at Lynette's invitation. It was about to start. Finally awake.
そう。やっぱり観客席は居心地がいい。エネルギーを消費するモードをずっとオンにしておかなくても済む。
Sounds like Gina got more than she fired on the backstage drop.
メリエ監督は彼女には才能がある。姉との釣り合いもとてもいいって言ってた。今ではこの劇に私がいなくても十分観客を呼べる。ふぅ、やっと解放された。
I think the attack speed is just the same as better or sometimes combos. Oh, I didn't know Dialect gives attack speed. So it's basically like a Mika. Oh no, they're probably gonna give me a free Mika too. I guess it depends on the combos you do, it's great. You don't even feel a little bit disappointed?
人気なんて面倒なもの。全部お兄ちゃんたちのところに行けばいい。私はただ静かな場所で彼らの公演を見て拍手を送りたいだけ。
Just unga bunga.
うん、ちょうど今みたいに。
And there's someone gonna say to be others capping in the audience. Very nice. Alright, we got that ending. Now we gotta go all the way back to the beginning to see what in the world this one is. All the way back to the beginning. What's this one? Where we go in here? Talk to Lynette. Don't do anything special for my skirt, just smash buttons and smile as things get smashed a bit. She do be pretty cool slashing things to bits. I actually think Skirk will get a buff when we eventually go to the Abyss. Like we'll get like some kind of Abyss power. I have C6 Shenhe, so she's the best in stuff on my account. Ooh, C6 Shenhe do be expensive. She has quite a bit of hits, so fitting couple extra attacks in with Dahlia versus Hangout, I think the buff is way better. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the attack speed increase, folks. Skip this one to go here. I feel like unlike a lot of other games, the attack speed in like Genshin hasn't seemed sort of like, how do I put it? It hasn't seemed like impactful enough. I mean, sure, there was like this Eula attack speed buff, and like people were saying that Novarka will eventually get an attack speed buff for her, but I don't know. I feel like attack speed is just not as sort of like important as they typically are in other games. Probably TTDS diff. I think we should head back to the drink reception. I think we should help Bonnie. Wait, should I do 3 or 4? I think we need to help Bonnie this time, right? Oh, I forgot which one I haven't done yet. What did my Fatometer say? No, I clicked the wrong one. I've already done this. Now I have to skip. No! Okay, never mind. Let's go back. Scanned. Quest overview. No, I need to help Bonnie, right? After successfully trading, but seems to have changed, huh? I need to successfully persuade her. Oh no 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 no! I have to say why don't we do something else and then persuade her to win? Think.
それはつまりこんなに長いこと誰も探しに来ないならもう少しバーニーと一緒にいてもいいってこと？本当に大丈夫かな？
本当に大丈夫かな? Persuade it. Yeah, I need to persuade her. Come on. Yes, I persuaded her. We did it.
何も言い返せない。
Stick around.
もしバーニーがこの近くで迷子になったのなら、新聞社やホテルに入ると飼い主とすれ違っちゃうかも。この近くで待機しておくのが確かに一番合理的。
Find some cat food.
そうしよう。バーニーもお腹を空かせてるし。
We get some snacks for us as well. Let's go.
それもそうね。あとどのくらい待つかわからないし。
Let's find a place to chill. Let's go. Chill.
前にどこかでぼーっと。頭を空っぽにしてたとき、近くのカフェがいいと思った。じゃあ、この後はぼーっと、一日中待機してましょう。
Oh, yo, that was easy. Standby mode. Doing nothing is the happiest thing. Oh, we're done, guys. We did it. Yo, easy. I thought it was gonna be much longer, but it was just the few like random endings left. Yo, 20 primos. Alright, we're done. We have done all of the Tribal Chronicles and Hangout events, I believe. All done. All that went over here by playing iPad, so inputs. We get attack speed buff, clicks per second. I think that's not hard. I know the DHC WSP guy on the YouTube and Reddit threads actually plays on like a tablet too, like he uses much. It's kind of insane. Free Dahlia for sure, man. For sure. Alright. Oh, wow. Wait, I kind of want to see what happens when you do this. Grabbing on just like True Moon. Oh, okay, it just takes you to this. I thought we get to see like cutscenes, no? Do we not get to see cutscenes? That's it? All we do is get to see like a bunch of like text and play the voice lines? That's kind of lame. Do they not let us play the cutscenes? Very sad. Can you go back? Hey, welcome in, Leanne. Just want to go back to the moon, bro. Yeah, exactly. You get to read them. Yeah, I guess you get to read them, but... No. Oh, I can zoom out. Okay, it doesn't zoom out that far, but... Oh, I like that they connected it though. Look at this, guys. Story Crest Collection. Oh, very cute. I like that they actually connected it in the timeline. Like, you can really tell that they've been like consolidating the story and lore together. And I like how the music changes too, by the way, as I'm scrolling back. You can see like it's all in a nice chronological order too. Oh. You know what's missing though? It's missing the old events that have like really good lore. Like this one here, they're completely missing the very important Dragon Spine lore event. A new star approaches. They only include the story quests and stuff though. Yeah. It's easier to follow. I bet they have internal version of this for lore. Yeah, probably. But yeah, they need to add like all of the old events in here too. It can't just be like going forward. I really hope they go back and add the old events into the timeline to see where it sort of like fits. The whole like Shadow amid snowstorms event was huge, and that's not here. But also, can we just like look and appreciate how long the Notcry Archon quests are? Right, like Natlan was like this, right? It was already like the longest at the time when Natlan came out. And then Notcry comes in and is like boom, 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 boom. And we're not even done yet, guys. Admiral Plasma, not a virus, trust? Alright. What is this? Oh no, I got the virus, GG. There's a timeline for the game, create an account, enter as visitor. Visiting Rhino. Holy cow, what in the world is this? What in the... Is this a community one or is someone like maintaining this? Wait, let me show this on screen. Holy cow, like what in the... You guys can't even see it because there's so much. You need to zoom in all the way for you guys to see this. Like what in the... I need to zoom in a bit more actually. What is this? Wait, this is not even like... This is like all the... This is like lore from the lore of the Dragon Age lore? Holy, who made this, man? It's pretty cool. My brain hurts, I'm too dumb for this. Elemental life forms inside of Apep's body. Image doesn't actually show how they actually look. Yeah, oh well. Primordial Sea. Yes, where all life came from. The Primordial Sea. This is actually the current theory, right? Of like how evolution started, right? Like we all came from like little like sea creatures in the water and eventually grew legs and stuff. Primordial Sea. Oh look, Coco Khan is here. Hey, looking pretty spiffy. And we got Moon Sisters, let's go! Okay, click view to get a better view, although the resolution is kind of sad. Eternal Moon, Iridescent Moon, and Frost Moon. The fourth moon failed to materialize and turned into Kuvaki. Very nice, very nice. Look at all the 13 Dragon Lords, AIs. AIs parentheses. Wait, where's the lore that connects to what's his name? Kinisha's Ajo Aho Ajo Aho Ahao. Moon Sisters. Leylines and Ermin Soul. Okay, very nice. We got Fake Sky coming in. Is that Skirt? Hi Skirt. How you doing? Depiction of Angels, Ruka Devada. Nice, nice. Wait, who is this? Oh, this is Ageria. I didn't know we had a picture of Ageria actually. Very nice. We got Naberius as well. She created a call as a replacement for this Hydro Sovereign. Ronova, Shade of Death. Azumodai, Shade of Space, and Istarotto, Shade of Time. Primordial One, the first Descender. Oh man, what is this? What is this picture? Is this like one of the name cards? Born from an egg, theorized to be the twin spaceship's genetic vault, which he used after the world reshaped the old world into a new world named Tevat. He really should have shaped it in a different way. It's too weird of a shape right now. Alright, before Primordial One was Dragon Age. Nibelung, who as a dotted line comes back from the Sea of Stars with the power of the Abyss, starts the war, the funerary flame, and the decline of the Guk. What is the Guk? The Guk? GUC? Is that short for something? The Guk. Lots of great stuff here, look at this. Age of Gods. We didn't spawn from the Primordial Sea though. I don't think humans exactly. But it says here where all life originated from, so... We as in Tevat inhabitants. I guess Traveler did it. Maybe he came from a different primordial sea. Tevat inhabitants though were, I think they were later created. But I don't know, like, you could be created from the power of the primordial sea. Where did it say humans created? Did we get humans created somewhere here? Why are there 3 deadly cells survive? Very cute. I don't see humans being created quite yet. I think I have to go back a little bit. We have the, this is cool actually. We have the old civilizations. Oh, the GUC is in the Great Unified Civilization. Okay. Alongside Nabirus, 400 years after its arrival, it creates all life on Tevat, including humans. So the primordial sea where all life originated from, and then Nabirus created all life on Tevat. I guess you could say that Nabirus either directly created everything or like somehow used the power from the primordial sea, I don't know. But we created great civilization. So we got Hyperborea, yep, good. Golden Palace City on Mount Isis. Mount Isis is which one? Is Mount Isis the indicative image? What is this? Enraged Prince. This is part of the Nostoi region arc, I'm guessing. Riding on the ship, Remus, stuff. So this must be the Nostoi regions. Tsurumi Islands, old civilization, yep. Foolish King's Sand Kingdom, what is this? Kingdom that spanned the entire landmass of Old State in Azuma. We don't have much info on this, huh? Kind of big, there's a big line there. Kitsune waged wars over ownership of Mount Yogo, they won. Yokai later. Looks like we don't have much info about this one. The Foolish King's Sand Kingdom. Delphi Paito Byako Yakoku. Currently unknown, only reference being the old name of Serpent's Hut. Okay. Yeah, I think I do remember this. I read some. Byako Yakoku. Very good. This Enkonomia area lore. And then Langan, which we got from the Zibai story quest. Very good. South Vindicnir, which I think we got from the Zhongli's story quest. And actually no, not Zhongli's story quest, the Dragonspine story quest. Was it the story quest? The Dragonspine world quests? Arcadia, what is this? Arcadia, the Golden Lost City. What do we get about this? Survivors Arcadia, including the Gwynhilda clan. Okay, Mondstadt lore. So you might get more of this. Mondstadt lore. I'm guessing this is from like the manga. TCG artwork for Oceanids. True. They have TCG cards here, dude. This is Dory's TCG card. Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers. Dude, where did people get this art? They're so pretty, what the heck? Huh? This art wasn't in game? Can I get this art? Oh, Meotic Studio? What is this? This is some fake art, isn't it? This is some AI generated art. Meotic Studio doesn't sound like Genshin to me. Look at the icons. Some have artifact sets, some have weapons. Yeah, artifact set. Lilupar, let's go. We got a Lilupar on the board. Intermission era. Yeah, we're gonna have to let's bookmark this as like a reference document so that we can like get to it at some point. It's nice to like have to reference this. Bro really installed the artwork without knowing it's AI first. I mean, you never know these days, right? I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying like, is it though? But it's not official art at least, that's what I can tell. It doesn't seem to be official art, but I will say it doesn't look AI, but I mean, you never know. You never know these days. AI can be pretty good. I think a lot of people like say AI art as if it's an insult, but I don't really see it that way. I think AI art can be good. I mean, just from a purely aesthetic standpoint, not about whether or not the use of it is good or not, but just from a purely aesthetic standpoint, no ass. I think AI art may advance to a point where we might not be able to recognize it from non-AI art. It's always been that question, right? It's just not just AI, right? For any sort of like computer program or like if you've ever watched like the biographies of like Alan Turing, the Turing test was proposed all the way back in 1950, and it's the test of whether a machine can exhibit a product or some kind of behavior that a human would not be able to distinguish that it was created by a machine and not made by a human, right? It's an outdated test. Well, I wouldn't really call it like a test, but it's more of like a concept of a test, right? Like if a machine or like an AI is able to generate something that humans can't distinguish it from, other human man-made work, that's sort of like a level that we haven't overcome yet, right? Like AI and machine learning and machine sort of produced stuff hasn't overcome quite yet. Like generally, we're still able to tell for most things whether something was generated by AI or if it was generated by a human. There are a lot of studies that were done on it, but they typically have a lot of controls where like you're only given a fixed amount of like information on both sides to make the distinction. But the important part of the test is that if as a user you can like constantly like change your test as you are like getting responses from it. So like say if there's an AI chatbot like pretending to be a human, generally it's a lot easier for us to tell if we're able to actually like ask it targeted questions that would cause it to slip up as an AI, you know what I mean? I think I recognize it 70% of the time. I think it depends, right? Like, are you talking about specifically AI arts or other things? It has to be specific to like a specific AI, because like not all AIs are the same as well. Some do better than others, obviously. Some are very obvious. But I think at some point in the future, if it actually happens, yeah, isn't that the topic? Yes, it is. It was the original topic, but when I'm talking about the Turing test, I'm talking quite a bit more generally, because it doesn't just apply to AI art. It applies to any sort of AI sort of product. So it could be like an AI bot chatting with you, whether or not you can tell that they're AI. So AI art is if it produces AI art, whether or not you can tell it's produced by an AI. Sometimes it's if you are a teacher who's like grading exams or like grading an essay written by college students, whether or not you can tell that the students' essays were generated by AI, right? So there's a lot of like different ways that you can, or like a lot of different like things that you could test, and the way that you're testing it would kind of be the way that the tester or the way that you tell, right, is kind of different for each of those different fields or each of those different sort of use cases. So it's actually really interesting. Like if at some point AI like comes to a point where like we can no longer distinguish the product from like whether or not it's made by a human or an AI, I think that's like when we can. That's when like I would say like okay, AI has actually like achieved, ascended. It has ascended. Dahlia's card is good. Are you equipping it? Card? Wait, Dahlia's card. But yeah, I would agree, like right now the AI arts are not like that good, but I would probably blame the people like generating the art rather than the AI itself. AI is just trying its best. And then like the folks that are actually like prompting and coming up with those images are not really giving the best prompts as well. It's how you're using the AI also matters a lot in terms of whether or not it's believable. And for most use cases, people are just like, oh, being lazy and just generating it. And then, yeah, those are going to be really easy to tell. But if there are folks who are like, they generate an image and then they constantly like use prompts to keep updating that image over time. And like, hey, change this, or even better, if they start with an AI image and then manually edit it later on, you know, can we say like maybe it was 90% AI and 10% human input into it? So, and I think for a lot of cases it's like that, right? Like, for example, like if I get AI to write my emails, nobody likes writing emails. But if I get AI to write emails, I can like finish the last 10% of it with my own like character and my own flair. That's called AI plus PS. What does PS stand for? Photoshop? Sorry. Personal intervention. Human. It's not. There's no H in there, so I don't know what PS stands for. But yeah, so eventually, like, if AI gets to the point where it no longer needs like the human to intervene, that's when like we can tell that the AI is like fully ascended. But we're not quite there yet. I think humans still have to intervene with all the prompt engineering or other parts of like making sure the AI is generating stuff. Yeah, Photoshop. Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, like, I see that kind of use as actually pretty good, because like the AI can save humans a lot of time, but the humans can still like add their own idiosyncrasies and their own flair and their own like uniqueness to the art. And at the end of the day, the human's still in charge of like what the overall vision of the art is, right? It's not the AI just dumping, you know, a whole bunch of slop, right? It's not like there's no humans looking at whether this is good or not. The humans still gonna look at it, assess whether it's good, make updates to it as needed, right? So, and that's basically, even before AI, we've been doing, you know, we've been using tools to make our lives easier and help us create things faster, whether it's machines, back in the day, a lot of automated processes, you know, so hopefully, like, I just don't want people to see like, oh, AI means it's all bad, right? AI can make our lives a lot better if we number one, stop all the big companies from over profiteering off of everyone's sacrifices. And two, if you know, we all embrace it and understand how to use it, just like any other tool. So it does look like, but I really like this travel log. So I don't know how we got to AI, but like this travel log is great. Oh, we got the AI because I saw a picture that I randomly joked was AI. That was my bad. It was a big tangent. No. Indeed. Yeah, your fault. True. That was good arts though. It was good arts. AI or not, it was good arts. I'm an artist? Nice. AI affects my field constantly. But don't you think like as an artist you could use AI to help yourself draw better or like make better art in a way? There are a lot of like I would think there are a lot of like there's a lot of things that you could do a lot faster if, for example, like in Photoshop, right? Yes and no, it's touchy. Yeah, like in Photoshop, like Photoshop was like a big tool that allowed artists to do a lot of things a lot quicker as well. Like I'm a photographer, right? And before like a lot of the different tools that Photoshop and like Lightroom was able to add, like there was a lot of like manual touching up that I had to do a lot of photos. And over time, like there's a lot of edge detection. They added a lot of other like features to like just make it easier to make an image look a lot like better, right? So coming from that perspective, like it's like it definitely helps people like do the same work like a lot faster. And I think that's what we want, right? We don't want to take away the human element. We just want to take away the parts of it that are sort of less interesting and more repetitive, right? So that we can spend more time being on the creative end. We don't want AI to do the creative stuff, right? We want to do the creative stuff, but we want AI to handle the touch-up stuff, yeah, I don't have to go through every single pixel and, you know, fix this edge, right? Like the kind of boring stuff. It's very easy for non-artists to have opinions, but art has a lot of personal self within them. I pour a bit of myself into them, so sometimes the idea of using AI to please others is unsatisfying. Right, but you don't have to use it to please others. You could use it to make your life easier. So like there are, if you sort of think through your process, maybe you have a sense of pride as an artist to maybe do everything yourself. But if you are sort of like if you are maybe making art for like a lot of folks, right? And if you are trying to produce a lot of art, there's only so much time you have, right, as an artist. And that's also like kind of the idea that like it's very hard to scale because there's a lot of time and effort that you put into this art. And that's all very valuable time and effort, and don't get me wrong, it's all valuable time and effort that you're spending. But if you can somehow, and I don't know if this is possible, right? It depends on the use case as well. But at some point, if you have a tool that you can to sort of like take your experience and your flair as an artist and sort of allow you to do all of your art faster. Not only could you draw all of your arts and make all of your art, but you could also make it faster for more people, right? And then the idea is that because you can make more arts, you can make more money selling those arts. But again, that's sort of like the ideal world, right? Where like it's not like the big companies controlling the AI. For AI to actually like enrich the lives of artists, it has to be like owned by the artist. The artist has to own like the rights to the AI, right? The rights to like the use and the training of the AI, which is not what's happening right now. So I think that's definitely like the big sort of difference there. In ideal scenario, right? Like for example, if I have Photoshop, I'm the one using Photoshop, right? Like I sort of own the work that I do in Photoshop. Whereas right now, the AI companies are the ones sort of like owning all of this like intellectual like stuff, which I don't agree with at all, right? I think artists should still own their work and their flair and everything. None of these companies should be profiting off like all of the great work that artists are doing. So it's more of like we need to democratize AI a little bit, right? AI needs to be a tool in the hands of the people, not in the hands of the few rich and powerful like it is right now. Hopefully people realize that, and then we can and I think there are definitely a lot of players out there who do recognize the true social value, and hopefully there are enough of them around that we can slowly sort of like siphon power away from these like few big companies into our own hands. So there are a lot of like great creators out there who would definitely support this cause as well. So but yeah, definitely agree that like right now the situation is kind of sad, and unfortunately there doesn't seem to be like much we can do right now. Computer assisted art that's not AI is a bit weird. Computer assisted art that's not AI. The computer assisted art that's not AI. I'm trying to figure out an example of what you mean. Like, no Photoshop or other similar tools. Yeah, exactly. Like, even with Photoshop, right, there are, like, you could, like, over-edit it or over-saturate it in a way that it doesn't look, like, very natural, right? So, but that's, again, that's not the, like, I would say, like, that's less of the fault of the tool and more of the fault of the user, right? So, Photoshop is AI too, but I mean some of the more manual tools, yeah, like, if you're, like, doing, if you're doing like touching up on the image and like you hit an edge wrongly, things like that. Yeah, definitely can look weird. That you have to be skilled at it too. And I think the same thing is true for AI. Like you have to be skilled at AI to use it in a way that benefits what you're doing. Like you can create custom brushes. Yeah, exactly. You can create custom layers, filters. There are a lot of things you could do. It's pretty flexible. Yeah. But I guess that's true of like anything, right? Like in life, like anytime we invent a new technology, it can be used for good and it can be used for evil. And we as a society need to make sure that we knock out all the bad players so that it's only used for good. So would this count as adding your personal flair even though a computer helped you make it? Well, yeah, because if you were the one who sort of directed the computer to do it, it's not like everyone else had access to like what you were going to do with the computer, right? You know what I mean? So like even if you generate an AI prompt, right? For example, like honestly, even if you use the exact same prompt as someone else, the AI could generate a kind of a different image for you as well. Then prompt engineering is pretty similar. Yeah, but prompt engineering also depends on both like your what you're prompting, but also like the engine that you're using, right? So especially the ones that let you mask stuff and AI generate parts selectively. Yeah, there are different things that you can use. And I'm not gonna say like I know exactly all the different ways that artists can use it, because I've not really dabbled much in like the art gen AI for like art too much. I haven't really touched that too much. There has always been like a lot of backlash in the industry, and especially the DLSS5. The complete disaster that was DLSS5. I don't know if you guys were following the DLSS5 news. After the complete disaster of DLSS5, like I'm not surprised everybody has a pretty low view of AI art right now. I'm not. I know a little bit about VS and Gen AI. Yeah, I've mostly dabbled in it mostly for like language and text, which I think like is a bit more core to the true nature of like LLMs. They are at the end of the day language models, right? So like if I use it to like translate Japanese, for example, it makes my translation work a lot easier. I still go in and manually, as you guys have seen, sort of edit every single translation line by line, but it makes it a lot easier for me than, at least it already has a suggested translation and I'm just editing it, right? And I'm still learning about the Japanese in the meantime, but it still makes my life a lot easier. It was a lot faster once like I was able to use AI to do all of that. Not well, a lot of the legwork, I guess. It's not doing all of it. That's why I'm asking, because in my eyes the line between the two is getting blurrier. Unless you straight up paint or draw on paper only. Where's your portfolio bro, your photography portfolio? I can't show right now, but but yeah, I did do a lot of photography back in the day. Not so much anymore. Like I'm not a professional photographer or anything. I do it more as a hobby, so when I have time and when I'm like visiting places, I'll take photos. What camera? I use a really old camera. I'm using like I'm getting like a Canon EOS 60D. It's really old. Like I don't even think it has autofocus at times. Like, or at least if it does, it doesn't work very well. But yeah, it's a really old camera. It's like, well, probably need to get a newer camera if I'm like more serious about it. But yeah, but you're right. The line between the two is getting a lot blurrier. Like whether how much is done by AI and how much is done by human. But I don't think you can ever like take away the human element of it, because otherwise it's just like, oh, it's just the AI doing everything, right? And I don't think people will want products that are just straight up AI only, because then I could also just throw it in the AI and get what I need, right? Like I think people are gonna have to differentiate themselves a bit more. Like they're gonna have to add more value than before, and this is true for like any, not just art, but like any industry. I'm not trying to use Rebel T3 or something. That one's not bad, so I can do Rebel T3. I definitely heard of that one. I've been thinking of getting a Sony one though, like a Sony mirrorless. Mostly because it's a lot lighter. I don't know, a lot of it is a lot lighter. I guess it is a little less hardy, but it is a lot lighter and easier to carry around. And probably at this point has like better autofocus and a lot of better like, I don't want to say AI again, but a lot of like new tech features that make whether it's image stabilization and a lot of other like interesting good perks to have. I think that could be that would make my life a lot easier as well. But yeah, I would only want to get the night sky photography. Oh yes, night sky photography is pretty cool. Hand painted bunch is so much more fun than talking to a phone to generate image. Oh yeah, exactly. That's the other thing AI can't do, right? It can't create like physical sort of products. Well, I guess not yet, but like if you hand painted, that's great. Like there's a lot of like people will pay like premium price, right? Like for like hand painted or like handcrafted sort of arts. I think mirrorless have more low light noise though. I think it depends, but I feel like these days like they have pretty good models these days. And low light noise, you know, can be roughly removed with some AI for sure. uh the for night sky photography though, I don't think it matters too much. You guys inspired me to do a hangout. Let's go hangouts. For night sky photography though, like you can get pretty far as long as you. I don't think you can get away with the noise that much because you're gonna have to use a high ISO regardless, unless you're doing like one of those like artsy artsy shots where the stars actually move across the image. But you're gonna have to adjust the ISO up pretty high regardless. Like the most you can do, I think, is like 30 seconds exposure before things start moving. Well, when it comes to stars, I wouldn't want to use AI because it will hallucinate. Long shutter times, of course. Well, not AI as in like have it generate for you, but like there are probably ways to have it like remove noise while keeping the original image intact. There are probably ways to do that. I think like Lightroom and Photoshop don't even call it like AI. Like they'll call it something like smoothing or like denoising or something. But it's basically like still like using a model to like calculate the pixels and remove like noisy parts of the image. Long shutter times, yeah, but you can't have it too long. When I've experimented before, I think like 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds is probably the max you can keep it on, because otherwise the stars and the stuff actually move, and then the image actually gets blurry. Question, how do you do the Aranara quest? I don't understand the book. The Aranara quest? I think you just gotta do it. Like the you just gotta follow like the quest hints, I guess. I don't remember where my Aranara book is. It's been a while since I've opened this. But essentially, the Aranyaka book. Collect 3 Vasoma fruits. Yeah, usually each of these will have a quest marker, and you'll have to go to the spot to like get it. And I think these are just like fun picture stuff, but yeah, I think for the most part you just follow like the quest and log, so I can ignore the book. Yeah. So if you just finish the quest and the log, they should all tie to the book. Except for these ones you do have to find it on your own, like the rhythm. But I think you can use the interactive map to find out each of these spots. And then for these ones also, I think they would mark it out for you, like yeah. At the end of the day, those auto-scrolling tools versus AI are both mathematical algorithms. Yeah, exactly. They're both mathematical algorithms at the end of the day. Yeah. And to be honest, like the whole like machines replacing humans conversation is like a tale as old as time, right? When computers were first introduced, people were saying that, you know, when every time like there was like a big there's like a big technological breakthrough, there was always some talk and some discussion of it. And then after like the initial fear and the initial like panic, and everybody realizes it's still just business as usual. We've just incorporated a new technology into the new ways that we work. Well, they did remove manual jobs. Yes, it did, but also the world hasn't ended. You know, like people adapted. People had decided to move on and have other jobs. Some people got left behind. People who couldn't adapt got left behind. And people who could adapt, you know, managed to continue surviving. At the end of the day, that's just how it. I guess that's how it goes. So what you're saying is F those people? No, it's not what I'm saying is F those people. What I'm saying is that the world is inherently a place where you have to adapt to survive. And this is true not just in human society. It is also true in just in general, like even for animals. They have when the environment changes, they have to adapt to survive. When the Lamau, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just saying like it's a harsh truth, right? And sure, like as humans, we might want to help those people who can't adapt, right? And actually, to some extent, like we are able to do that as a society, but like at the end of the day, right, whether you're a human or some other creature living on Tibet, right, like if you can't adapt to like the new circumstances, like you are like it's gonna be harder and harder for you to like keep going. You can't expect to like keep the same old thing that you've been doing all this time and yeah, and say, oh, everything is gonna be fine and dandy. I'm just gonna like do this one thing. I'm not gonna pick up new skills. I'm not gonna learn new things. I'm just gonna stay and do what I've been doing for the last 20 years. Like that's just not gonna work anymore, right? The world is just changing too fast, I think. I saw a translator lose a job recently because AI is so much faster and 90% was good. That is kind of sad, yeah. Um, but it is true that LLMs are really good at translating and are a lot. I think at least for like in-person events, you probably still need a translator. Like I think for like the Twice concert when they were around, like they were still using like a real in-person translator for the back and forth between like the Korean and English. And then so I think they just still exist. I think translators are still used a lot in the UN, if not mistaken. Um, but to in some degree, I can definitely see a lot of those folks losing their job. If I think at some point someone comes up with like a, like I've seen folks like literally like go to a country and they don't even know the language and then they just talk to like Google Translate over the phone or something. Right, definitely people will do that, and LLMs are actually designed to do exactly that, to translate between languages. That's literally what they were originally designed to do, and they're really good at doing that. So I can definitely feel for that. Is it going to be really hard for a translator to say, "Oh, I'm inserting my art into this," right? Because translating is not an art. Uh, as much as there are like personal interpretations, it's not quite considered like an art form in the sense that it's more important to be correct than to be stylish about it, I guess. So in a way it helps more humans connect together, which is good. Well, yeah, you could also argue that it's probably better if humans all spoke the same language. To which I say we would have a very boring world if everybody spoke the same language. But also, if we did all speak the same language, then maybe we wouldn't have so many wars. So you know, it kind of goes both ways. Um, I think it would be nice if everybody had a common language, or if not a common language, at least a common way to translate between languages in a clear way. Um, it's not entirely, it might not be entirely possible because there are cultural differences that just cannot be translated, you know? But I definitely don't want the world to have like a single culture. Like I still like I think it's still important for like diversity of thought in across like the different parts of the world, and because diversity of thought is what allows creative thinking and creative solutions to develop, and that's what we need as humans. There's the advantages to that, but too many disadvantages too. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to some degree, like English is currently being used as sort of the lingua franca or something, basically like the de facto language of trade or, diplomatic relations, so on and so forth. And as long as there's one, then maybe you just learn that language and learn one language and then your home language, and that's it. Then we don't have to like translate within a lot of other languages. You only have to translate from one anchor language to all of the other languages. It does make it a bit easier. Um, so to some extent, English has been like fulfilling that spot. Um, so maybe that's good enough. Like, doesn't not everybody will speak one language, but at least have learned the one language that you that like. I guess in the D&D terms, like we call this like the common language, right? At least one language is common across everybody, just so that we can communicate, trade, you know, understand each other. Hopefully, not get into conflicts and wars with each other. You know, surprise, surprise. Guess what happened? But the I do agree, like the translators are gonna have to figure out a way to maybe make some money elsewhere, or probably just have to do a lot more in-person stuff. Cause yeah, definitely things like subtitling, you know, captioning stuff. That's a lot of it is really hard work. Captioning stuff. I do a lot of subtitling, right, for like the stuff, Hoyo stuff. Um, it is a lot of hard work, and it's not. It's also not very well appreciated work in the sense, right? Like it's not like people are gonna like, oh, like you did such a great job translating this to this sentence. You're just doing a translation, you know what I mean? So, um, to some extent, for me, it's like there are gonna be skills that just become redundant, and yeah, we would just those folks will just have to adapt and use their skills and apply it in different areas. So when the machines came, you know, we didn't need that many people on. Basically, like machines were like replacing labor, right? In a lot of industries back then as well. And so same thing is gonna happen, and we're just gonna have to evolve, like we always do. We're gonna have to evolve like we always do. So evolve the way that we think and the way that we work and the way that we the way that we appreciate art as well. I think. If anything, like it's gonna it's gonna make us appreciate how much more, you know, effort artists have to put in. So don't see- not again, Rabbit. Not like this. You know, that's not what I mean. Not like this. All right, that's a lot of yapping. That is a lot of yapping. Um, we are gonna go say hi to Lucky. Um, while I go ahead and get myself some dinner. So appreciate y'all being here, and you guys sticking around. I will be back again tomorrow. More Genshin, maybe Genshin, probably maybe another game content. We'll see. 'Cause I think we're basically done with Genshin now that we have already done like the remaining Hangout events. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, don't worry, Ramen. Thank you all for being here. Thanks, Ramen. Thanks, Brushy. Thanks, Lehan, for dropping by as well. Lehan's not streaming, is he? As well as Ghosty, who was here. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back again tomorrow, probably a bit earlier in the day, because I will have work the next day. But yeah, hope you all have a good night. Take care. See you guys next time. All right, let's say hi to Lucky. It's a great message. There we go.